Hi. This is my first time doing anything like this, so please don't judge. Even though I am a theater critic, I am kind of vulnerable to criticism. Surprise, surprise. But here it goes. My first episode. It's an interesting timing to do this right now, because after COVID-19 hit New York and the rest of the US in March 2020, we suddenly had a lot to adjust to, right? To say the least. Public events were closed, theaters closed one by one, and to flatten the curve, everybody was asked to stay home. I mean, we're still there. This is more like for future generations, in the hope that we will make it out of it eventually. So, future generations and people who are listening right now, please know that theaters did in fact go entirely dark. Some of the theater companies and performers were able not only to adjust to new digital platforms, but also create something entirely new and amazing. And I've been doing a lot of experiences that are happening online or over the phone lately, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you my favorite ones. Okay, the first one is Site-Specific Theater Festival by Exquisite Corpse Company, which happened on March 28th. It was an online live festival, consisted of 16 plays. They were short 5-minute plays written in 24 hours, rehearsed in 3 days, and performed in the privacy of people's apartments. So yeah, and I'm about to meet with masterminds behind the festival, with the staff of Exquisite Corpse Company, to ask them about the festival and their plans for the future. Okay, that was weird. I'm still working on my style here, so yeah, here we go. Exquisite Corpse Company. Exquisite Corpse Company.
Hi, everybody. So, Exquisite Corpse Company here. This is crazy. These times are crazy. So we really, on behalf of all of us here at ECC, hope you are staying healthy and happy.
We love our theater and art community so much, and now more than ever, we want to do one of the things that we do best, bring artists together.
None of us know how long we're all going to be cooped up like this in these various spaces or apartments or wherever it is you call home.
So we're going to do that other thing that ECC does best, which is make some art in weird spaces, your spaces.
Tell me what got the festival started, the site-specific festival, as you call it.
I don't know if you've ever been to one of our drunk 24s.
I haven't. Tell me about it.
Ooh, oh, it's a riot.
All right. So first of all, welcome to Drunk 24. Everything you see here tonight has been made in the last 24 hours.
Sort of like if a love child was created from a drunk Shakespeare meets a 24-hour play festival. Basically, the performers on stage not only have to memorize their lines, figure out their blocking, get costumes, but they also then, day of, moments before they perform, are told how many shots they must incorporate into their scene.
How did you come up with the idea to make it an online thing?
Blair, who teaches at the Barrow Group, was working a lot with Zoom, and she was like, hey guys, this might sound crazy, but what if we translated the Drunk 24 into a Zoom experience? And we just kind of thought, heck, all right, like, why not, I guess. Let's make a live festival.
For this past Site-Specific 2020, we wanted to do it really with the same intention of Drunk 24 very quickly, kind of do it like down and dirty, very Exquisite Corpse-esque. We had like 3 days for people to submit, and then we chose groupings and had a meeting later that evening, introducing everyone, and then we had our playwrights write a 3 to 5 minute piece in just about 24 hours, and then they had 3 days, the director actor teams had 3 days to rehearse and communicate any technical needs that they might have for us, and then on Saturday night we put up the show.
The apocalypse you imagined?
Honestly, definitely not. I always thought humanity would be wiped out by a global pandemic. But this is so much worse.
When I was working with my awesome crew, Kate and Josh, we would obviously, we'd go through the director's like acting notes, but it was also like, wait, no, guys, oh, hold up, stop. All right, move the camera to the right. Oh, perfect. You get talked over, or like you're just sort of on this other screen, like, wait, team, hold up, stop, don't. Okay, all right, let's do it again. It was interesting to try and relearn your vocabulary. So I would be like, upstage of the table. So the site specificness of it definitely bled into the usual ECC thing, which is that we don't usually have stages anyway. It really puts a lot of emphasis on your ability to communicate without like the physical communication, which I'm a very physical person. So that was a fun new challenge on my end, at least.
Yeah, you just keep wanting to be like in the room and just move the camera yourself, and you have to do everything verbally. It's a very unique challenge for the director and for the actors, because the actors have to figure out what the director is trying to tell them to do.
You're creating alone in a sense. I mean, you're still collaborating with people, but you're definitely in your own space, which is a totally different way of working for me as an actor. It's very different.
Yeah, it definitely puts more, gives the actors a lot more work, because not only do they have to do all the acting, but they have to like set up the shots, and they have to move the camera around themselves. And it definitely takes on a cinematic quality.
It was definitely something to get used to. It just felt different, because I guess as an actor, if you're on film, you're on film, and if you're on stage, you're on stage, and like, what is this? I don't know. Like there was a certain point in rehearsal where I had like my script, my phone, and a knife in my hand, and and Anna was like, "Can you open that door?" And I was like, "No, I can't do anything right now." Like, he comes in and walks in on me on the shower.
That was once too.
And then proceeds to drool and fake apologize, and then drool again.
Like I had 24 hours to turn out my script, but then we had multiple days of rehearsal, and I'm a writer who loves to edit in rehearsal, so I was able to do that. And yeah, there's just you're always gonna make discoveries in rehearsal, like this one thing isn't landing, or et cetera, et cetera. So it was nice to have room for that, and we're also, like I said, exploring what feels like a completely new medium. So there was definitely a lot of like, oh wait, like, and I still feel like I'm learning how this whole Zoom thing works, and I made a ton of discoveries just watching all the pieces and seeing the things other people did, and it's like, oh man, like you just like kept seeing things that I want to incorporate into the next one.
I think my favorite part of the night was actually the fact that we left the chat on the side of the Zoom. It was so much fun to see people being so supportive and loving and into what was happening.
Live theater, you can only judge based on like the how loud the applause is at the end, but like with this, you were like really seeing just like all these comments and like hilarious and like heartfelt things, like as the piece is still going on, and that was that was a very interesting and different way to experience each of the pieces.
I got like really, really nervous right before we went on. I don't know why. Maybe it was because it was the biggest audience we'd ever had. We had like 300 people there. So like, I was like, yeah, this is a cool side effect of everyone being stuck in their houses. They'll go see theater now, I guess. I don't know.
I did love just, seeing community that we maybe created in New York, but then relocated to across the state that you don't get to work with or went to grad school, and getting to, like, there was just so much joy in getting to see everyone's face again,
You also raised a substantial sum of money. Can you talk a little bit more about like what does it mean to you to be a charitable event?
In the fundraising aspect of this project, we kept our expectations pretty low.
We all were like, okay, suggest a donation, 99 cents. How much can we raise? Who's gonna watch this?
When we got the final number of like how much we made, I was like, oh my God, we did it.
When we did hit $1,000, we were really pleasantly surprised. And something that I cherished was when we did tell Randy the final number, she included her community in like thanking us for it. I think they were like shocked at the outpouring of support that one theater company can have for a company that does support other theater companies.
We did it pretty shortly after we all got quarantined. And I personally was feeling very low energetically wise. And, so many of our other like people were, filling my mailbox with, come do this online, do that. There's a dance party, come here. And I was just like, holy moly, no, thank you. Like, I am tired. Go away. But then like in doing this project, the playwright and I that I worked with, we both sort of acknowledged that we were both feeling that way. And that actually in doing this, it made it feel better, and like our lives were not so disrupted, and it kind of rebooted me in a weird way.
Do you think this form has a life outside the quarantine times? Like, do you see this happening once we're all free to go?
I think that the relevance of this will evaporate to a certain degree once the quarantine ends, which is why we're trying to get in as many of these as we can now. But who knows? I think it's possible that this might have all introduced us to a new way of experiencing theater that maybe we'll still want to experience. It's still nice to be able to just watch a bunch of live plays from the comfort of your living room. So I don't know. Maybe this will keep going post quarantine.
Yeah, I think when the quarantine ends, people are not gonna want to ever look at Zoom ever again.
For at least a little bit, for sure. Yeah.
But I do agree, Blake, that it's gonna really totally. It's making us rethink the way that we do things. So I think that's, even if it doesn't, we're not like doing an annual Zoom festival. Like, it is making people on a whole rethink the way that we create art and experience art, and I think that's really cool.
I agree that the relevance will kind of fade after the quarantine ends, but I think that there is still a community for Exquisite Corpse Company to tap into that we maybe haven't been able to do so, not only including our international or like other state friends, but also our more shy, introverted friends,
or people who who can't go. It's not safe for them to go sit in a theater for whatever reason under normal circumstances.
Right. Yeah. So much of what Exquisite Corpse Company does isn't 100% accessible to people. So I think this also opens up that opportunity to people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're always, talking about like, the past 5 years has been Governor's Island, and that really, it's exciting and it offers you a lot of things, but it is also limiting in terms of, how people with a person with a wheelchair can access your event and your show.
Whereas generally theater is like a very local phenomenon, and very much bringing your local community together. What was so cool about this was that we're doing this with people all across the country.
My parents are in California, and they responded very positively and very enthusiastically to the Zoom teacher How to Be Happy class. I think if I called them, they would still talk about it today. And then there were just other pieces that really hit me more and I found more interesting. And I think that was one of the benefits of this festival, was that we were able to see a range of pieces that were able to impact different kinds of people.
So I had one coworker at the Barrow group who tuned in. She was like, I didn't know what to expect. And to be honest with you, I don't think I was expecting to like it, but we got so drawn in, and it was like, ooh, where are we going now? Ooh, where are we going now? Ooh, where are we going now?
Nice.
That's a great review. I like that.
Yeah. I was surprised that like most of the plays were comedies or like had some comedic elements in direction and performance. And I was wondering, like, if you would do it now, would it be different?
I think it's natural to turn to humor in times like this, for sure. What I really enjoyed was how even the most humorous pieces still had a very like serious element to them, and most of the pieces were about the strangeness of the situation that we're all in right now in one way or another, which has a ton of comedic potential, but also a ton of like truth bomb potential. And I was really happy to see how many of the pieces sort of walked that line and took advantage of that duality.
Well,
Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of where it goes this time, because we'll be doing it, if we do it again, doing it.
Well, now tell me, when are you doing it again? Because I am amongst the people who are like dying to see part 2.
Well, we've been in long meetings and conversations about it and kind of like the directions and stuff. And we also, it's ironic that you asked that question about like the humor of it and sort of like the theme of the quarantine. And we all kind of were like, well, it kind of makes sense. It feels like the first one, you kind of have to like get the quarantine out of your system so you can like make room for newness. So yeah, we'll see if that holds up for the next one.
I definitely hope that other people are finding other ways of making art in these unprecedented times. I feel so blessed that to be part of a company that has found this avenue, and I hope I'm sure there are other crazy avenues that these unusual situations are forcing out of people, and I hope that I get to experience that, everything that people are inventing and coming up with right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens after all of this to the larger theater community. And I hope this is bringing us together in this cool sort of way. So I'm excited to see what kind of blossoms from that in the post-corona era. Even if we're all operating on shoestring budgets, it's, welcome to our world. But I'm interested to see how the industry changes and how the community surrounding the industry changes, and I think it'll be for the better.
Betty, she's beautiful.
Beautiful Betty. She's got your eyes, and eyes are windows to the soul.
Oh, and souls are doorways to the heart. Oh, are you tired, my love?
Yes, Rona. I'm growing tired, and sometimes it's necessary to close off the soul to keep it safe and sound.
Will you dream of the birdmen?
Yes, but I will not show them my pathetic eyes.
Well, we'll be there together then.
We will be together.
I hope too that the change will be for the better. For now, with care for self and others in mind, let's keep arts alive. And if you don't want to create anything, that's totally cool. But if you do, Please don't let physical distancing stop you. There are so many avenues to expressing yourself. Let's use this time to reflect, to experiment, and to find new cool ways to connect and to co-create. Make sure to follow Exquisite Corpse Company for the updates on the new site-specific festival. I will leave the link to the website below the video. Stay safe, be strong, we will get through this.